Alright, welcome everybody to my video on the Uberti Cimarron open top revolver. This one here is chambered in 44 special. Take a quick look at the chambers. Not that I'm going to be shooting anybody through the YouTube, but there you go, for all you people out there that need to see that. Like I said, this gun is chambered in 44 special. It's marked right there, just like my Richards transition. 7.5 inch barrel, 44 special. I bought this gun probably 7 years ago or so. Picked it up at a gun shop. Wasn't really planning on buying one of these, but I saw it and it was in a chamber that I really like, which is the 44 special. And I decided I would go ahead and pick it up. It is also one of the nicest fit and finish Ubertis that I've bought. Case colors are very vivid. The wood does not show hardly any gap around the grip frame, which almost every Uberti I've bought has an excessive amount. This one here's just got a tiny little bit. If you compare it to my Richards, which, let me get the angle right, there's quite a bit of light showing through there. And yeah, you can really see it on that. And then my first model, Cattleman, has got a bit. Let's see if I can catch it right. You know, that's just typical of these. None of it never surprises me, but this one here, the open top, is a little bit notch above the other ones I bought. It is a very nicely fit and finished gun. It shoots well too. I almost exclusively shoot 44 Russian through this gun, and in the black powder flavor. I have shot some smokeless rounds and some 44 special rounds, but mostly shoot 44 Russian black powder. The bullet I use the most is the Ideal 44 caliber. The last 3 digits are 184. It runs anywhere from, say, 245 to 255 grains, depending on the alloy that you use. And I run 3F GoX through Russian cases with the Winchester primer, and they shoot really well. The gun does not bind from black powder. I haven't shot enough rounds through it to get it to bind, and I know I've shot probably close to 100 rounds through this one in one sitting with no issues whatsoever. And my transition is the same way. With them particular black powder rounds in the 7.5 inch barrel, I'm getting in the mid 700s on the speed, probably around 750, 760, which is right at what the original documentation from the era shows that cartridge was rated for. The accuracy on it's pretty good, especially considering the sights. I'm not a very good pistol shot by any means, but I can keep them in about a hand or palm size group at 25 yards, and I'm more than happy with that. The 44 Russian through this gun and the Richards transition is a very nice shooter. It's not a heavy recoiling gun by any means, not comparable to like the 45 Colt and the Peacemaker with a full load of black powder. That's a handful. These are considerably less recoil, but they have enough to let you know you're touching off something that's got some wallop to it. So it's a very entertaining round to shoot. I enjoy it quite a bit. So go over a few things on this one. Like the operation of it's identical to a single action army. I'm not going to go over that. One thing I will say is this and the Richards have a screw above the wedge, and there's a flat spot on the screw. You need to turn that before you knock the wedge out, or it will tear the head of that screw off. See if you can see it better on the transition here, which the flat spot's right there. That needs to turn before you knock this out. Apparently Uberti saw the problem of people not doing that and put some extra screws in both the boxes of these guns that I bought. So if you buy a new one and you break a screw, before you go worrying about buying another one, check your box. It's usually underneath that little cutout section. There might be a bag with a screw or two in there. A little short history on the open top. It was came out before the Peacemaker, around 1871, 72 era. It was Colt's first cartridge revolver after the Smith & Wesson patent run out, Rollin White patent run out. It was, I think it was used a little bit. I think the military did buy some. I think there's some original martially marked ones of these out there. But when Peacemaker came out, it pretty much supplanted it. I think they probably made these for a few years after the Peacemaker came out as a cheaper option. So I think probably he probably could have picked an original up, you know, back in the day through the mid 1870s until they probably ran the parts out. The original ones were chambered in 44 rimfire. I assume the same 44 rimfire that was used in the Henry and the 1866 Winchester. So obviously that's, you know, chambered. This one's chambered in more modern offerings because you just can't get the rimfire cartridge anymore. But I don't know. There's really not a whole lot more to talk about on it. It's got the 1860 grip frame. It does have the, you know, the different shaped barrel area as opposed to the transition, which was used from 1860 parts. All these parts were manufactured by Colt when it came out strictly for this pistol. They weren't leftovers from the percussion guns, so it was a complete new model when it came out. It just the single action Army stole its thunder, and it no longer became obsolete. So the old design, I guess, pretty quickly. And the cartridge itself, the 44 rimfire, also by the time the 45 Colt and 4440 came out, probably was not a big seller, I would think, after probably the 1880s anyway. But anyhow, that's pretty much all I got to say on the open top. If you want one, if it's anything close to what this one is, I'd recommend it because this is a good gun. It also has the dumb little safety on the hammer that flips over like my transition model does. Unlike my transition model, when this one's being used, it doesn't lock up the whole action. You have to take the gun apart to get it to function, but I still don't use it. It's more of a hindrance than a help. But anyway, that's all I've got on this. If you got questions, comments, or any corrections that I need to be corrected on, feel free to post them. And hope you all have a Happy New Year.